forced to remain behind a veil of ignorance by his own admission today. He said that he was not aware of information that the former conservative leader already knew about the government in Beijing spreading disinformation using state organs. This is on top of learning today that Mr. Johnston hired a lifelong Liberal donor who was at a fundraiser with the leader of the Liberal Party just 2 years ago. In addition to other Liberal consultants and NDP strategists to do damage control, will we put an end to the act and fire this rapporteur and call a public inquiry now?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me read a quote on the former Governor General. I think we're dealing with a very credible individual, and I think that distant history bears little relevance to the fact that he has a very distinguished career. If we're suggesting just because at some point in history he was appointed by a former Conservative Prime Minister that he should be disqualified from participating in public life, I think that is a little bit extreme. This is a very qualified individual, and frankly, I haven't heard anybody question his integrity, and I have no reason to do for. That, Mr. Speaker, with the Leader of the Opposition.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition. Order. 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 The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Which is another reason that it is so tragic that that Prime Minister has destroyed the reputation of the former member of the Trudeau Foundation in this terrible position and surrounding him with Liberal staffers, Liberal donors, and Liberal lawyers. He has ruined the perceived objectivity, caused a conflict of interest, one that he could reverse anytime. Why will the Prime Minister not put an end to the charade, launch a full public inquiry now?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as the Leader of the Opposition formerly said, David Johnston is a man of integrity, and when I chose to appoint him to be an independent expert, I didn't hold against him the fact that he had been appointed by Conservatives past. I knew that his judgment was top-notch, and that is what he has demonstrated every step of the way. The judgment that is in question is the judgment of the Leader of the Opposition, who continues to refuse to get briefed up on top-secret matters that would allow him to understand what's actually going on in foreign interference instead of making baseless personal attacks.